Kyle McKenzie ready to start the HRW Automotive Mini Stock season here in their first qualifying heat of the season. Tom Cole and Dusty DeBoer lead them down into corner number 1, but here comes Sean Iftati on the outside line. We'll go to second now. We'll challenge for the lead off of 2.
Iftati with a great start, and lightning Tom Cole is sort of dropping towards the tail end of the field. Everybody taking evasive action. Out in front of him is Cheeseburger going to lead the lap.
Iftati, your leader, over DeBoer, and Fabio Oliveri, another nice-looking machine in that Kubota number 16. He's there in third. Here comes Longboat to his inside.
Longboat with a good head of steam through the corner, and he's pulling down the straightaway pretty well, pretty fast as well. He'll take that spot over Fabio Oliveri, and Oliveri is under threat here from Aiden Nye in the 88 as well, and Christopher French in the 54.
Iftati and DeBoer 1 and 2 with Longboat now third. Oliveri back to the 4th spot, side by side for position 5. That's Christopher French and Aiden Nye going at it, as we will see the cross flags this time by from Kyle McKenzie.
Halfway through the 6-lap qualifying heat, we've got 4 mini stock heats tonight, each of them 6 laps in distance. You know, this really is an indicator of how far the mini stock competition has come. There were years where the 79 of Steve Miller and the 265 of Mike Evers would have been battling for the lead in features, and they're struggling a little bit right now deep in the field. We saw Mike Giverson do the same thing over the years.
Things have really progressed here in this 4-cylinder stock car division.
So we thought Iftati was going to drive away with this heat when he got around the field, but DeBoer not letting him get too far out in front. The top 2 have pulled half a straightaway over Longboat, but that's still a great battle on this white flag lap for the win.
Here they go for the top spot. Iftati's got it, running a lane higher than DeBoer. DeBoer looks down low in corner number 3. He's going to show the nose down to the inside line. It'll be a drag race down across the stripe to the checkered flag. Who's going to get it?
Iftati bobbled just a little bit between 3 and 4. That's going to allow DeBoer the victory by 3/100ths of a second. What a race that was in HRW Automotive Mini Stock Heat number 1. Heat 2 about to roll out. Car number 46 is going to start from the pole position out of Waterford. It's Wade Thorne. Alongside him out of Caledonia, nice looking crowd here, folks. We're thrilled you could come out and join us for our adjusted opening night here in 2019. Mother Nature was not friendly to the track crew here. We were greatly delayed getting on the track to get any work done, but good looking track conditions for us tonight.
A lot of water in the parking areas and the pits as well in the last few weeks, so good to see that it's all dried up and we were able to get the race in tonight. Mother Nature has not liked the 2019 racing season in Ontario so far.
I was talking to Ken Leslie last week at Merrittville, Adam Leslie's dad, sportsman racer. What did he tell me? Either 7 or 9 races they have lost off their schedule already this year due to rainouts.
Pack racing through 3 and 4 with Kevin Thorne out in front in that Burger Barn, number 360. Wade Thorne back in the 2nd spot.
Running in 3rd as I bring up my timing and scoring. Looks to be Kyle Haynes in the 22.
See Kyle up here, and I believe he plans to run the entire season. Has been a regular down at the Merrittville Speedway for a number of years and down at Humberstone. But Kyle here at the Big O, running right now in that 3rd position.
Well, he's listed from Bellwood, Ontario, which is up northeast of Guelph, if I'm not mistaken.
Cross flags in the air for Kevin Thorne. Out in front over Wade Thorne. Here comes Haynes on the back bumper of that number 46 as they work down the backstretch, trying to get a run. Going into corner number 3.
Tyler LaFantasi, that's a good-looking race car. That white-black with fluorescent yellow numbers working down the front straightaway.
Thorne in control. In fact, the Thorns are in control. 1 and 2 spots right now. Haynes has backed off a little bit in that challenge for the runner-up position. LaFantasi closing the gap on the top 3, but time running out as the white flag is now out.
Yeah, just one more lap to go in this qualifying heat. Mike Guyberson, we talked about him in that last heat race, drifts back towards the tail end of the field. His performance isn't what it once was, but his attendance is still spot on.
Checkers out. Kevin Thorne will pick up the win over Wade Thorne. Kyle Haynes back there in the 3rd spot. Tyler LaFantasi 4th at the line. 5th spot. Whoa! Martin Schroeder will go around and goes into the wall as he was battling Matt Newell across the stripe. Schroeder will get the car going again. And I believe he'll be credited with the 5th spot.
So Zach Buchwald going to be running the whole season this year in the number 10. He bought out his brother's share of that race car, so his goal is just to come out here and improve each and every week. And one way to do that is by getting to drive the car each and every week. Greg, makes a big difference when you get all the seat time.
Yeah, it's really hard to get in a rhythm when you've got to step out and miss a week, and then if there's a rain out, you miss a couple of weeks, and then you've got to try and get back into the groove. And if you're not making A mains either, that makes it extra tough. But he'll have a whole season now to try and get things figured out in that 10 car, which has been racy in the past. So see what Zach can do. Trouble for Rob Twitcha while the caution flag's coming out.
Yeah, I think Doug Leonard did not like the look of that start.
Well, guys, it's going on. The Tolton 13 is going back a row for jumping too early. They talked about it quickly on the radio between Kyle McKenzie and Doug Leonard, and they said, yeah, he was way early. So the 13 of Tolton sent back to the 2nd row.
I've got to see. He's got one bomber win. I just don't know as though he has competed in the mini stocks to get a win yet. But, yeah, he does have a bomber win. And was a regular for a stretch in that 38C machine. Here he goes door to door with Tim DeBoer down in corner number 1, and Tim drives him right up the track.
Well, I think they might have got hooked together there. Tim DeBoer with a problem. He'll head it straight to the pits. That just did not work out well for John Cote as he was along for the ride at that point. Puts him all the way to the back of the field with a 0.5 of Dave Goodacre.
So lap number 1 will go to Jonathan Ayrton as they cross the stripe. That number 21 machine, Bobby Tolton, challenging him down on the inside line. Bobby had just an awful time last year at the start of the season. Had a terrible wreck with that car and missed a good chunk of the season. Good to have him back in that 13 machine.
And how about Tristan Da Silva up there in the 0-1 car, Gibbs Action Sports? Let's landscape together. A couple of the drivers we talked about earlier, actually, Jonathan Ayrton and Tristan Da Silva. 2 of the 3 cars battling for the lead down the back straightaway.
Ayrton leads, Tolton 2nd, Da Silva 3rd. And it's Mark Thorne back there in the 4 car. And a good battle going between Nick Massey and Rob Twitchett. Looks like he's got another strong car again this year. He really made leaps and bounds when you were going that 69 machine and became one of those drivers that was in contention on a few nights to win a feature. And here he is. Look at the run he's got going down the back stretch.
He actually needed to try to find room to keep that run going. He had to lift, gave a little bit of a push to the 4 machine of Mark Thorne, and it cost him some ground as we've got 2 laps to go.
Jonathan Ayrton leading the way, but here comes the challenge. On the inside, Bobby Tolton draws up alongside, but Ayrton's able to work the momentum on the high side and hold the lead down the backstretch. Da Silva right there in the thick of it with these 3.
1 lap to go. The white flag is out. What a battle among the top 3. And then for 4th, 5th, and 6th, they are right together. Thorne on the inside, Twitchett up high, and Nick Massey looking for racing room. But out in front, 3 cars as Jonathan Ayrton pulls them down the backstretch.
Ayrton leads going into corner number 3, taking that high side. De Silva just about a half a lane down. Bobby Tolton on the bottom side. Checkers out. How are they going to finish? It's going to be Ayrton, your winner over De Silva in second. Tolton in third. Twitch at fourth. Fifth was Thorne. Sixth, Massey. Seventh will be Goodacre. And eighth will be Cote.
And Thorne threw a big old block out of turn number 4 on Nick Massey.
Off over the pit area.
Dave Steyer's right on cue, getting us the pink sky. I sometimes think Dave Steyer's lives on top of the tower here. You don't often see him come down from there.
No. At the end of the race night, it looks like he's got about three weeks worth of clay and dust. It really accumulates up on the top of the tower, and does a great job there. Has been up there for as long as I've been here and longer.
Oh, yeah.
Green flag is out, and Jason Tolton really got a good start on that one as Kyle Wirt did not really go off the drop of the green. But they are door-to-door through corner 2.
Down the back straightaway, still mostly in formation is this fourth qualifying heat for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, and they stay that way through 3 and 4. Who's going to lead lap number 1? Oh, no.
Wow. That was
How
messy.
did that car stay on its wheels?
Wow. I thought for sure Cole Hardy was going to go up and over, but a break for him. He's obviously very disappointed inside the car. Damage on that machine. And you can see the damage to the front of Jason Tolton's number 1.
Cole Hardy, not the welcome to Ohsweken Speedway you were looking for. They got crossed around in front of you, didn't really have anywhere to go. What's your thoughts?
I don't know, not the way I wanted to start the year off. Hopefully it's not too bad and we can be back here next week. It looks pretty horrible, but as long as Jason's okay.
There you have it.
Hello, and you know, Jason Tolton, just the car got loose and he went around. There's nothing malicious there, but he's able to restart this race in the 6th position and still try to fight his way into tonight's A-main event.
So it'll be Kyle Wirt and Mike Sirentakos bringing us down to the green flag. Sirentakos on the outside in that purple 6X. He had a feature win last year, as did Kyle Wirt in the number 19.
And Kyle Wirt had his feature win, if I'm not mistaken, a week after he absolutely destroyed one race car. Didn't he come out with a different race car the next week and win?
And then after that was just a constant threat to win every week after that crash. So it really turned his season around for the better.
Tolton's hood is almost vacated the race car.
It's hanging on there off the far side from our vantage point. Side by side of the front. Wirt on the bottom. Sirentakos on the outside. And Jeremy May is just kind of sitting there and watching these two as they go wheel to wheel.
Great battle down the front straightaway. 3 laps in the books in this qualifier.
Great battle up front. The Eccles Auto Service number 19 of Kyle Wirt on the bottom side. The Lampman Salvage 6X and Mike Sirentakos on the outside. And here comes Jeremy May. He'll swing it to the outside of Wirt as Sirentakos squirted away.
Wow, and we're about to have a 3-wide battle for the lead off of turn number 2. Kyle Wirt falling back a little bit on the inside. Sirentakos with a great run on the high side. And Jeremy May, who split the middle, now battling for the lead off of turn 4.
Jeremy May reeled them in and now challenging for the win with a white flag out as they go down into corner number 1. Sirentakos on the high side. May a lane lower, and now Jason Dixon's right there in it too.
And how about Ryan Hiller in that 21? I believe he's a rookie in this division. I know Bob Hiller very well, a veteran of a lot of years of street stock and challenger racing on the pavement. But look at this. 6 cars nose to tail fanning out towards the checkered flag. Sirentakos with the win. Jeremy May comes home second.
Kyle Wirt will grab the 3rd spot over Jason Dixon, Jason Tolton, and the 21H of Ryan Hiller. So that concludes qualifying for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Also, again, it's their Instapanels Duel on the Dirt, home race number 1 on the
So, B-main number 1 rolling down the back straightaway. Kyle McKenzie ready to drop the green flag this time on turn number 4. Christopher French on the pole in that 54 machine, looking to transfer into the A-main. Once again, we've got some heavy hitters out there. DeBoer in the 9 had to pull off from his qualifying heat with some sort of mechanical trouble. Nick Massey in the 222 with lots of speed. Mike Evers, a veteran of this division. Let's see who it's going to be. Green flag flies. We are underway.
Off to turn 1, Evers looking in on the bottom of the 265. That car runs very good on the inside, but it pushes up a little bit now. Here comes French right on the back bumper of the second place machine.
DeBoer in that number 9 up the back straightaway. He'll look to the inside of Christopher French. French pinches him down just a little bit going into 3, but doesn't seem to bother DeBoer any. Keeps his foot to the floor, and he'll keep contending for that position.
Working on the outside, there's that DeBoer, number 9. Remember, it pushed up. Not sure if he had a flat right front. They really squeeze up to the fence down the back straightaway.
The outside is definitely the place to make that move, able to keep the momentum up. So now Mike Evers in that second position. DeBoer wants it out in front. Nick Massey trying to walk away with this one. Doing a pretty good job in the opening laps of that as well.
Massey with a straight line off of turn number 2 as Evers points it straight as well. Trying to pull up to the back bumper here of Nick Massey's 222. DeBoer is fast in that 9 car last year. See what he can do. Evers slow off of 4 big time, and that pulls DeBoer to the outside corner.
Yeah, DeBoer got a big run there when Mike Evers bobbled a little bit, and DeBoer was able to keep his momentum going. Now Mike Evers slides up the racetrack between 1 and 2. Great battle for second position.
Nick Massey, formerly driving that Nissan 240 that was so dominant. Now he's got what appears to be a Cavalier Sunfire with the new dual overhead cam rules that just came into play last year for North American cars here in the Ontario dirt scene. 2 wide for second as they roll down the back straightaway. Mike Evers on the inside, Tim DeBoer working the top.
Great battle side by side for the second position. One of these drivers going to get in. One of these drivers going to go home as the white flag is out. One more lap to settle the score.
Down on the inside, Evers with full left rudder trying to keep the blue 265 on the bottom. DeBoer will get around him on the outside, but up front with the lead, it's Nick Massey. All alone up in front, he'll punch his ticket to the A feature. Massey will get it done, Adam, bring us the rest.
DeBoer going to finish second. He needed a perfect turn 3 and 4. He got it. Mike Evers was able to keep pace, but not fight back for that position. Steve Miller, his night ends early. So does Dave Goodacre in the 05. Buchwald in the 10. And Tom Cole in the 6R.
Don't forget your 50-50 tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Also, don't forget Carload Night next week, $30.
Build some brand new race fans, and what better way to do it than when it's only going to cost you $30 for an entire car full of fans. B feature number 2, Tim Newell behind the wheel of the 26. The 21H is Ryan Hiller. Brian Cosgrove in the 96C. The 517 is Cody Somerville. Trevor Want in the 19T. Cole Hardy in the 7C, scheduled to be out there. Mike Giberson in the 11, Brent Walker in the 6W, and Jeff Alslinger in the 11E. Remember, 6 laps, 2 cars transferred.
Well, Alslinger just pulled the escape route right turn and went in through the outdoor, and he will park it early in this one. Here we come around onto the back straightaway. It'll be Tim Newell with the lead in what appears to be the former champs car of Matt Newell from last year.
Yeah, Tim out in front right now in that 26 machine. Will lead lap number 1. Feeling some pressure now, though, from Ryan Hiller in that 21H.
Hiller looking pretty fast here, Adam, as he works his way around. We'll turn it back over to you, and Newell pushes right up in front of them.
Yeah, Hiller is looking great in that 21 machine, and they do have a history in racing. I believe Bob Hiller's his dad. It could be his uncle. I'll have to get the word on that. I saw Bob here as they rolled the car through tech. One thing it does have in common with the cars that Bob Hiller always brought to the racetrack is it is a nicely prepared car. It's a pretty race car. Pretty quick, too, Greg.
Yeah, working that outside line. Caught a couple of bumps the last 2 times around the high side of 2. Great shots we're getting to see of that car getting some air. But he's right there hanging in tough, not losing time on leader Tim Newell.
Halfway through, 3 laps down, 3 laps remain in this B main event. Newell with all sorts of pressure from Ryan Hiller. Now, what Ryan Hiller is going to learn here is you can't hesitate. If the opportunity arises, he has to find a lane and take the opportunity, because you know who's going to, Greg? Brian Cosgrove in that 96. That's the trouble with these last chance races. You think you're in good position, then all of a sudden you're on the outside looking in. As we say that, Hiller looking to the outside of Newell for the top spot.
Yeah, Hiller not going away on that outside line. He'll try again down in corner number 3. Kyle McKenzie will show the field the white flag. Tim Newell really slowed up down in corner number 3. That allowed Hiller to gain ground. He'll work the outside line. They'll go side by side into corner number 1, and Brian Cosgrove's just waiting for something to happen so maybe he can sneak in.
Well, the big thing for Hiller is just don't run the line Newell's running. You have to have an escape route should something happen to keep yourself in a transfer spot. As Newell looks like he is going to take the win. Hiller's going to finish second and qualify for the A-Main. Cosgrove, Somerville, Want, Guyberson, and Elsliger fail to qualify on opening night.
Again, 50-50, guaranteed $750 to flag down the sellers in those pink shirts.
And starting 12th from Caledonia, the 365 is Kevin Thorne. 13th from Ancaster, the 16 is Fabio Oliveri. 14th from Thorold, the 96, Tyler LaFantasi. Starting 15th from Dundas, the 69 is Rob Twitchett. And 16th from Brantford, the 6 is Jason Dixon. Starting 17th from Simcoe, the 88 is Aiden Nye. 18th in the 60, it's Martin Schroeder. 19th in the number 4, it's Mark Thorne. 20th in the 1 is Jason Tolton. Nick Massey drives the 222. The 26 is Tim Newell. Car number 9, starting 23rd, is Tim DeBoer. And rounding out the field from New Hamburg, the 21H is Ryan Hiller.
Double greens in the air, and they all fan out down the front stretch. Troubles for Bobby Tolton in the Amsoil number 13. He'll pull down to the inside line and let the pack go by.
After the long offseason we had, that's got to be so disappointing for the driver of the 13, Bobby Tolton, as he drops to the back of the field. Something amiss on that race car.
Here comes Cheeseburger across the line, and he will lead lap number 1. Sean Iftati in the 15 machine. Out in front, Kyle Wirt and Dusty DeBoer door to door right behind him.
Great battles all through the field. 2 wide, 3 wide racing. This is what we are accustomed to seeing in the mini stock division.
Really is a momentum game here, and it's pack racing at its best, where sure the draft might not be a thing here on this track, but you really need to keep the momentum up, and if you get blocked in behind or get a hole squeezed up that you can't fit through and have to lift, you lose a ton of track position. You've got to get it all wound back up.
You're absolutely right. It is all about the momentum. Kyle Wirt just got a little bit sideways in turn 4. DeBoer had to check up a little bit. It seemed to work out better for Wirt than it did for DeBoer, as Wirt is closing in on the race leader, Iftati. The top 3 with a bit of a gap over Wade Thorne, running in the 4th spot.
And Bobby Tolton finally is going to have to take the number 13 to the pit area. So he is not able to get that car running to full song, and a horrible start to his 2019 season, much like he had 1 year ago.
Work down low on Iftati. We've got a battle for the lead. They're going to drag race down the front stretch. Quite polite at this point in the race, leaving plenty of room between the 2 cars as they duke it out.
Wirt on the bottom in the 19. Iftati on the outside in the 15. That's your battle for the lead. Dusty DeBoer in the 23 right behind them as they work across the stripe another time.
Good drive being had right now by Paul Longboat in that 188. He was a driver that came up from the Bomber division between 2017 and 2018 to race in the mini stocks. He had a little bit of speed, but Greg, he just didn't look that comfortable to me on the big track. Tonight he's having a good drive out there, battling with Jonathan Ayrton side by side. Nice job by Paul Longboat this far.
Battle for the second spot. Here comes Dusty DeBoer to the inside of Kyle Wirt. Door to door into corner number 3. One of the cross flags, Sean Iftati will get it from Kyle McKenzie. 8 complete, 7 to go. And the battle is right now the second spot. That's the one we're watching.
Well, and the battle for second has allowed Sean Iftati to really open up as we've got them jostling in turn 2. Tolton, Fabio Oliveri, Jason Dixon, Aiden Nye, all of them getting crossed up. Everybody able to carry on. Doesn't look like anybody lifted.
Dusty DeBoer has worked his way into second, and now the number 46 machine of Thorne has worked to the inside of Kyle Wirt, who is now finding himself drift away out of a podium finish here.
Yeah, Kyle Wirt, something not quite to his liking. He is dropping back, and that's allowed Kyle Haynes and Jonathan Ayrton to close in as well. So the battle for third is quickly becoming a 4-car battle. DeBoer driving away in that second spot, and now making a big move to the inside is Kyle Haynes.
Yeah, Haynes now gets by Wirt. He's working on the inside of Wade Thorne. Something up there on the track. Up in corner number 3, but they may feel that it's not something that will cut a tire. Now the yellow flag comes out. So that debris will get picked up in corner number 3 with your leader, Sean Iftati. Adam, I'm trying to figure out, Dusty DeBoer and Tim DeBoer every year come out with classic NASCAR paint schemes. Who do you think, Dusty? Obviously.
We're going to go green. Sean Iftati leads the way. Dusty DeBoer. This is his chance to mount a challenge as we'll have 9 laps to go.
Iftati continuing to lead the way. Picked up a feature win last year early on in the season. Looking stout here again. Last year it seemed like he was either running up front or he was in the B main and had a lot of work to do, and more often than not, he had the most work of the night. And there goes Kyle Wirt up in smoke in corner number 4. After such a good run to start this feature.
I'm thinking it's it's definitely the Rad out of the 19 because the car's still running. He will try to limp that back to the pits. It looks like he's going to be successful. Whoa, we're stacking up in turn 4. LaFantasi making contact with Tim DeBoer, Paul Longboat, Tristan De Silva all involved as we've got 2 laps to go.
Toddy continuing to hold down that good advantage with a white flag coming out. Picked up his first and only win last year here at Ohsweken Speedway.
His story is an interesting one and how he got involved in racing. Worked on a lot of pit crews, worked with a lot of race teams, now doing his own thing. Look at that gaggle racing for 6th on back. That is insane. Sean Iftati going to take the checkered flag cheeseburger to the win. DeBoer finishes 2nd, Thorne 3rd, Haynes 4th, Ayrton rounding out the top 5, and goodness gracious.
That's why we have transponders for the back portion of the back.
And I still say great job by Paul Longboat in that 188. He should be proud of that run. That was a great race. Put it all together, a solid top 10 finish.
15. How about a big Ohsweken Speedway victory lane welcome for Cheeseburger Sean Iftati. You were one of the kids who came out last year, kind of really got your feet wet here at Ohsweken. And now you've made yourself a home and picking up opening night wins. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's wicked. Long winter, Baden Curtis helped me rebuild the car from the front to the back, interior, all of it. Couldn't do it without any of the help that I got. Savona's Postal Service, Well Engineered Canadians, Upfront Motorsports, Port Coburn Laundry, my parents, friends, everybody for the support.
How do you make it back-to-back wins next week on national television, MAV TV?
Do my normal, listen to Kenny Montgomery, Dirt Track Thing on the way to the track, eat a cheeseburger, and let her rip.
How about for Sean? Your season's well when you can finish on the podium here.
Yeah, last season I started off with a 2nd place finish, and it turned out pretty well the rest of the year. I thought with the big bad Nissan starting in front of me, I wasn't going to get up that high, but they were struggling, and in the heat, I was behind Sean the whole race and just barely got by him at the end. I was hoping he would slow down, but in the feature, he just got faster and faster. But yeah, it's a good run. I'm happy with it.
Solid run for Dusty DeBoer. We get over here and talk. Mr. Thorne, good run for you. Talk about your drive. You look pretty good out there tonight. Third place. Anytime you can end up on the concrete is a good start to your night.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been on the concrete. We used to win here lots in the Bombers, but kind of been struggling with the minis as much. But we finally got a good piece put together. Mark Silva came out last year and helped me put a good motor in this thing. My dad helping me getting this car ready, and all our awesome sponsors, Brand Tractor, Buckwald Landscape, Ken Wallace Contracting. They really helped me put a good piece together, and we caught Dusty there with coming to 2 to go, and I lifted a little bit coming out of 4 and went to the outside and 1 and 2, but it's just too rough up there and couldn't hold the car down on the ground, so happy with third though.
Solid run there. How about a hand for your top 3 tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Cheeseburger, Sean F. Toddy, Dusty DeBoer, and Wade Thorne. Your top 3 here tonight in our first.